right, for the second video today on Rules Cyclopedia, we're continuing on with combat. Now, we are going to talk about the most amazing, the best form of combat in all of Dungeons & Dragons. Doesn't matter the edition, everybody always and forever loves it. Unarmed combat.
Oh, there it is.
Isn't an edition of Dungeons & Dragons where people hated the rules.
I thought you were going to say Beyblade.
Everything that I said before that point is a lie, other than we're going to cover unarmed combat. Unarmed combat in Dungeons and Dragons is memed on. It's joked about. People hate it. People redesign it. But let's see what it is in Rule Cyclopedia. Maybe these are awesome. I mean, it's going to be, looks like 4.5 pages. So let's get to that. What page did I say? I already forgot. Somewhere around there. Hand-to-hand combat, look at that. Oof. Now remember, there is the Mystic character class. So if sometimes you're wondering, like, why would anybody do this? Remember, the Mystic revolves around hand-to-hand combat, at least to some degree. So, all right. In the hand-to-hand combat phase of the combat sequence, each character who has chosen to make a hand-to-hand attack and who has not yet either made a missile attack or cast a spell, we discussed that in the last video, can now attack. He chooses his target, rolls to hit, and if the roll is a success, rolls damage for his attack. Great. That seems like a nice, easy, quick system. Yep. If the victim, if hit, applies results immediately. If the attack kills or stuns the victim will not be able to act later in the round. If the attacker has multiple attacks, he performs. Yeah,
that's again. It's written poorly.
Yeah, he chooses a target, rolls to hit for each of his attacks. Okay, if the attacker has multiple attacks.
Okay, the way that is written, number one, it's the editor should have got this, but it also seems like you can't split your attacks. It doesn't say targets. It says target and rolls to hit for each.
Yeah, it looks like it just stays on one target. Yep. Yeah. It does look like that. That's if I was going rules as written, that's how I would rule this. I'm not saying that's exactly what I do at my table. I'm just saying if I were to read that rules as written, that's it. All attacks are on the same target.
But because that paragraph is so poorly written in the first place, it's really hard to tell.
All right, adjust your hand-to-hand attack rolls. So it's based on your strength. You get adjustments for magic. And fighter combat options, smash. Come on, they could have put Hulk there. Couldn't they have put Hulk there?
Smash. Yeah, no, they couldn't. They couldn't.
I know.
But
they owned Marvel at that time.
Really?
Yeah, that's the game you like.
Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah, that was TSR, wasn't
it? Shit, you're right.
They could have put Hulk smash.
Yeah, they could have put Hulk smash.
-5 to attack, add strength, scorch, damage. So basically you are doing that. So you're going to get extra damage if you hit, but it's -5 to that attack roll. Lance attack and set spear versus charge are double damage.
I don't get it. Hang on. Help me if I'm just missing it. In step 1, you put your strength adjustment. Step 2, any magical adjustments. Step 3, if you decide to smash, you add your strength adjustment.
So we'll read it later. I know how I'm reading it now. I might be very much wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But I think I get it. And if I'm wrong, well, I'll just tell you guys. Okay, here, I'll tell you. It says strength score, not strength bonus.
Oh, you're right. It does say strength score. So if you decide to smash, you got strength to 10. You add 10.
Yeah, that's how I read it.
All right. Nope. That's how I read it too. Yeah, I didn't see it. I see it now. Okay. Got it.
Hand-to-hand weapon adjustments hit only weapon mastery, and we talked about mastery previously, so we can go back, or you guys can go look at that later. We'll take a look at this. So strength, we got the bonuses there. Magic, we did that in other combat. I know if you didn't watch those videos for whatever reason, if the magic spell gives you a +1 to hit, add 1 to the roll. If it gives you +1 to damage, add +1 to damage roll. It's that simple.
And magic weapon. For every plus, you get a bonus to hit and bonus to damage.
Well, that's true. I guess you could wear magic gloves or something. Yeah. Okay. So let's see if it's in the with the smash maneuver. The character takes a -5 penalty to hit, but adds his entire strength score to the amount of damage he normally does with the attack. Okay, we read it right.
Yep. Okay. Good. You know, I like that. I like that because a -5 penalty, especially at lower levels, is a severe disadvantage. I like that.
And it says this his entire strength score to the amount of damage he normally does with the attack. So it doesn't say like you don't get your normal bonus, you get this one instead. It's saying whatever your normal is, which includes your strength bonus. So if you have an 18 strength, you're already doing +3 damage. You roll D6 +3, right? So let's just say you get the average roll of a 4, so that's 7. Now you got that 18 strength. What's 7 + 18 with 25? Did I math that right? Yeah. 25 points of damage with a Hulk smash.
That's huge. That is huge.
Okay. Well, look at that. Optionally adjusted attack roll, but you have that -5.
Which at lower levels is also huge.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's worth it, man. Because even if I miss twice in a row, that third hit is still going to make up for all my misses. Right? So optionally adjust his attack roll if he is at a skilled or better level of weapon mastery of the weapon he's using, as per the weapon mastery rules in Chapter 5. And you can go back and look at those. Two weapon combat.
Oh,
wait! This is supposed to be hand. Wait, is it counting all?
Hand-to-hand combat is also melee weapons.
I forgot about that. You're right. For some reason, I thought this was separating it out.
Nope.
Okay, in mini fantasy and adventure, no, I don't care. What does it say? If the DM wants to simulate this in campaign, he may allow a character to attack with 2 weapons. Each hand gets 1 additional attack per round. Okay, both attacks take place during his hand-to-hand combat phase, one after the other. The attacker can decide each round which weapon he uses first and which he uses second, but the second is at a -4 penalty. Okay. That's a little simpler than the AD&D second edition rule on it.
Right, but it has some strategery with it.
Yep.
You know, so that's good. That's good.
Okay. If you're using the optional weapon master, there is an additional penalty. The second attack is treated as if it's 1 mastery level lower than normal.
The weapon mastery in this game sucks. So
yeah, but people, you know, it's funny. You and I think that, but most people think we're in the wrong on this one, which is weird.
Well, you know,
well, here's the result. The result of weapon mastery to me has never been a problem. I like weapon mastery except for the training aspect of it. I like what it adds to the game. I just don't like how it's trained. I would just say, there you go. Spend the money and the time. Now you've got it. Instead of, oh, crap, you failed. You got to do it again. Spend more money and more time. But, so, yeah, if you have expert mastery and you've got both, but guess what? You're going to strike one at expert level and only at skilled level for the other one.
Sure. Whatever.
Coordinating multiple attacks. Weapon mastery and 2 weapons combat. Multiple attacks. So it's a fighter combat option, and the mystic character class abilities both provide a character with extra attacks per round. 2 weapons combat, as described above, gives a character an extra attack when he has the weapon in each hand and decides to use both weapons in a combat round. We got that. Mm-hmm. 1 weapon from Chapter 4 of the Cestus, if used on the second attack, takes no offhand penalty when used with these optional combat rules. So it's a very one-off specific case. But you remember, it's got all those little letters and numbers and so forth as little flags and identifiers. So with weapon mastery, some weapons allow a character a second attack in a combat round with no offhand penalty. 1 weapon, the Tusk Shield, cannot be used with any other weapon, but allows 2 attacks, with neither attack at an offhand penalty. So how do all these rules work together? Okay, this part here, I was like, why are you saying all this?
Optional. Yeah, this is all optional stuff if you want to complicate your combat.
But now it is saying how you use the stuff together. This is the meat. This is what we're really looking for. So if the campaign is using both multiple attacks and 2 weapon combat, the addition of 2 weapon combat allows a maximum of +1 attack per round. So no matter how many attacks you have, you get 1 extra during the entire round. There you go. For example, a 12th level fighter with 2 attacks per round carries a normal sword in one hand and a dagger in the other. With the 2 weapon combat rules, he gets 1 attack per round, or +1 attack per round. Therefore, he can attack twice with his normal sword at no penalty and once with his dagger at a -4 penalty. Okay. Pretty well spelled out. You know, to be fair, I don't know if I would go through all this complexity, but it is a very simple rule to apply once you actually, put it in action there. If the campaign uses weapon mastery rules, a -1 weapon mastery level reduction penalty applies to that offhand attack as well. Multiple attacks with weapon mastery. If the campaign is using both, Allow a second attack provided maximum +1 attack per round. Such weapons do not strike at a penalty. So this is the multiple attacks aspect.
Yeah.
Example, a 24th level fighter has 3 attacks per round. Using a Bastard Sword, one-handed, as his main hand attack and a Sword Shield as his second weapon, he can attack 3 times at no penalty with his Bastard Sword and once at no penalty with his Sword Shield in 1 round. So it's a total of 4 attacks. That example, I think, even overcomplicated it. You just get 1 extra attack per round with that offhand weapon. All your attacks are with your main weapon. The extra attack is with that second weapon that you have. Real simple. Got it. All 3 rules together because you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not going to read it.
No.
And this look, guys, this chapter's long. You already get how that works. I will leave this on the screen long enough for hopefully you zoom in on it. We'll scroll down a little bit here. And then you can take a look at it there. But ultimately, I'm not skipping it because I think it's stupid. I'm not skipping it because it's confusing. I'm skipping it because we do have to move on. And these are all optional. There you go. That should be long enough for you to see all the paragraphs there. All right, unarmed combat occurs when a character attacks an opponent without using a weapon. In the standard rule for unarmed combat, an unarmed character inflicts 1 point of damage per hit plus any strength bonuses. So wait. You're telling me that Hulk smash attack is with weapons?
Sure. I mean, giant axe or, a cudgel or...
Wow, that is certainly a way to cleave somebody in half. I don't know. The entire time I've been picturing that as just being, Hulk smash, not Hulk smash. Let's see. So, strength penalties do not adjust unarmed combat damage to less than 1 point. So, even if you have, whatever reason, you have -3 to your damage roll, if you roll a 1, 1 minus 3 is -2. Well, you can't heal somebody. You'll still do 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Characters make normal attack rolls and use the standard combat rules. Unarmed combat takes place in the hand-to-hand combat phase of the combat round. I would hope so. It's unarmed combat. All the following rules are options to expand. Okay, we're gonna look at some
Striking
of these.
And wrestling.
Yeah.
We actually have we had someone in chat saying I like the wrestling.
Yeah, well, we're going to look at wrestling because that's where things cause the most complications for people. I'm probably going to skip the striking other than looking at the procedure checklist. But wrestling we are going to take a look at because that's where D&D really makes people cry. So who may use striking and wrestling? All character classes and levels of characters may use striking and wrestling techniques. Doesn't matter who you are. You can try to grab somebody. You can try to punch somebody. You can try to kick somebody. Ask the 4-year-old kid who ran up at you one day and punched you in the nuts. He made a successful strike.
Did you make a successful counterattack?
Yes, and good. People got mad.
They're not the ones who got punched in the mommy daddy button.
Right. In unarmed combat, the attacker either strikes an opponent with fist kick, etc., or tries to grab an opponent, jump on, tackle, etc. Thus, we use 2 systems. Complicated. Oh no, somebody's gonna cry. It's clunky. 2 systems.
Stop it.
Sorry. 1 for striking, including all unarmed blows, and 1 for wrestling for all other forms of unarmed combat. Mystic class characters only use the striking rules when they wish to fight someone without doing him significant harm. They already possess unarmed combat abilities that far surpass any abilities provided by the optional rules below. So, if you declare basically a subduing attack, or whatever term you want to do at your table, then you use these. Otherwise, you use just normal combat rules because you're messing somebody up with those fists of fury.
Mm-hmm.
These striking wrestling rules refer only to unarmed combat. If a character attacks another with a weapon, even a weapon of opportunity, mugs, tables, chairs, this is armed combat and follows normal rules. So, this is for MMA fighters only.
Mm-hmm.
Treat weapons of opportunity as clubs. Generally, the -1 to -4 penalty to hit based on how clumsy the weapon is in the opinion of the DM.
Oh, okay.
That's weird because fighters can use literally everything.
But if they're throwing plateware,
that's true. I forgot about
-4.
My wife must have a weapon proficiency in rolling pins. Striking. We're not, like I said, we're not really going to read the striking stuff because it's very similar to. We will look at the checklist though, just so you can see the quick rules. During the hand-to-hand combat phase of the combat round, the player announces that he intends to strike. He may strike with his fist, foot, head, elbow, or knee. If he intends to use a fist, the character must be empty-handed or may drop or put away an item in his striking hand. The character goes through his normal initiative and attack roll procedures. If his strike hits, the character does the base damage of 0 plus any bonuses for high strength. So your base damage is 0. That's awesome.
I thought it said earlier that a strike is 1.
See, do we have damage in here? Knockout effects. It's probably because of the effects. There's a lot of stuff in there. Like I said, I apologize if anybody, if you guys want to put in comments if you think we really should have dove into the striking side more, you can. But we're going to continue on with this checklist here. It's punching, man. And yes, there are some special features with it, but I don't know. When I glanced through it, all made sense. The victim hit by a strike must roll a d20 and subtract his constitution score from the result. Go ahead and just roll for you. I don't remember what your character's constitution was, but 20 minus whatever your con is.
Okay. Con is 10, so rolled a 17.
Okay, so 7. Just for now, let's remember that 7. If the total is 1 or more, the victim is stunned for 1 round.
Okay, now I know why the damage is 0. Okay.
The stunned victim must also make a saving throw versus Death Ray with a +4 bonus to the roll or suffer a knockout. Go ahead and do that.
Oh no, I got that one.
Okay, so you're just stunned.
Yep.
The duration of the knockout is simply the result of the 1d20 minus Constitution score in
7.
combat rounds. Okay.
7 rounds. Wow, I'm stunned for 7 rounds.
I thought that was just the knockout.
The duration of knockout. Okay, yeah, you're okay.
Yeah,
you're
the
right,
stun is just for 1 round.
Just for that round. Okay.
But that's fine. That means you're not acting.
Yeah, and
I can try to stun you again next round.
Sure.
If the victim is an NPC and his Constitution score is not known, the DM rolls or selects one. 25.
Victim's a monster. Use hit dice. Okay, sure.
Use twice its hit dice.
Oh, ignoring pluses. Okay, got it.
All right, stun. Well, no, like I said, we're not going to read all that.
Okay.
So unless you really want to know how you're stunned.
No, I'm fine.
Combat striking with 2 weapons, striking weapon mastery, optional rules for striking.
This is all optional already. Jesus.
Let's see, only for strike can cause a knockout. Got it. Tough opponents, not possible if the victim has more hit points than the attacker. Okay. Saving throws, objects in hands, holding on to the brass, the roll of nickels, right?
Yep.
And fighter combat options. All right, you can see a lot of that stuff there. And here we go, unarmed combat mastery table for anybody who wants to pause on that and take a look at it.
Yeah, it says there damage 1 point for striking. Before in the thing it said 0. Here it says 1. And you can still stun and knockout. See, base damage is 0.
Yeah. I wonder if you roll after this. Dang it. Attacker sizes.
It's the striking procedure.
Yeah.
So I imagine you go from 1 to
I don't see anything special in here that I'm just glancing through right now. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I really don't want to read the whole thing. A strike normally rolls. Okay, when one character hits a target in unarmed combat, this is called striking. A strike normally results in either a stun or a knockout. However, if the attacker has less than 4 hit dice, a stun is the only possible result. See the striking procedure checklist for details. That's what we did.
Yeah, and it says 0, which is fine.
Okay,
that's fine. But later on, it says striking minimum 1 damage.
Here's how I'm taking this. This is striking for damage. Unarmed combat. Or not striking. Striking from the record for a moment.
Okay. Attacking for damage.
Yeah, attacking for damage. This is how I'm reading it. Correct us in the comments if you think we're wrong. If you specifically declare a striking attack, you then use these rules.
Okay.
That's how I'm taking it. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to say inflicts 1 point of damage per hit.
I get it. But then we move down to that chart we just saw.
Yep.
Below that.
That's why I'm separating it.
Hang on. Keep going.
Well, we're going to wrestling.
Keep going. There. That one is boxing, unarmed combat, mastery table. But it says striking.
Oh, that actually makes sense. You have to have the
you are a
combat mastery to do
boxer?
1 point.
But you can also stun and knockout.
But that's automatic for any.
Okay. All right. I don't think it's very clear.
Basic. Yeah, so you have to have one level of combat mastery. If I were reading again, just off the cuff reading this, one level of you have to have basic mastery, then you do a point of damage. If you're just flailing out there, if it's it's the rando person who has no hand to hand, we'll say it's your thief. Your thief has no combat mastery in this.
Sure.
You would do 0 damage and only go off the chart.
Yeah, the problem, but Padar has a chat in here. It's like that means if you don't have a strength adjustment, you will never do damage in striking combat ever. You just go for the special effects.
Yeah, the stun or knockout.
Yeah. I don't like that. It doesn't seem right. I don't believe you can stun or knock out someone without doing at least 1 point of damage. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think you're looking at hit points as wounds and not just the abstract.
I'm looking at hit points as damage. If I want to knock someone out, it feels like I should have to damage him. Even minimally.
I hear what you're saying, but I think that those can be separated out. You can be at full hit points and be knocked out. Or at least stunned. I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm just saying you can. And in this regard, I would say that if you don't have at least basic combat mastery, then you honestly, if you and I were fighting, and neither of us, our characters obviously, were fighting, and neither of us had combat mastery unarmed, we would just be fighting to see who knocks out the other one first. It's not about hit points or anything. It's just who knocks out the other one first. Because technically, at 0 hit points, you're dead. We're not killing each other with fists. That's how I'm seeing it. That's why I'm not worried about the hit point thing. Okay. I do understand the hit point argument. I also don't think it has to be there. I see it either way. Now, like right here, if you're an expert, you're doing a D4 plus 1 damage. You're literally hurting somebody. This is Mike Tyson punching you in the face. I don't care how good you are or in the gut. You're going to be damaged from that. You're going to be feeling that for a few days.
Yeah, but you were punched by that 4-year-old in the mommy daddy button. That hurt, didn't it?
Like 5 minutes.
Still, it hurt.
But I wouldn't call it necessarily damage. Not saying it can't be damage. I'm just saying I don't necessarily think it has to be damage. But I know a lot of folks have opinions on this in chat. If you see some that either explain it, argue either way, I don't care, one side or the other. If you've got comments out there, I'm moving on because I really wanted to cover wrestling.
Copy.
In here. But what are your thoughts on that? And by the way, please either timestamp or let us know what one of us actually said. Because when you say something like, I don't agree with Heathen Dog right there, I don't watch these videos after the fact. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you timestamp it, I can at least go look like, okay, this is what's said at that point. Please timestamp. All right, wrestling. This is the part that I'm interested in because wrestling has always been weird. Mm-hmm. When an unarmed character grabs a victim and tries to hold him, pin him, or bear him to the ground, this is called wrestling. Humans, demi-humans, humanoid monsters. Okay, we got it. Who may wrestle? Any character of any class or level. Most humanoid monsters and undead monsters that were originally human, demi-human may wrestle. Got it. Initiative, armed versus unarmed. When a character attempts to wrestle an armed opponent, the armed opponent always wins initiative automatically. Got it.
Okay.
I'm not against that rule. I could quibble a couple of things like pole arms or whatever, because you want to, if you get inside the guard of a pole arm,
and you just don't get hit by that weapon anymore. Yeah.
It's a game, folks. It's a game. All right, unintelligent monsters. Unintelligent monsters will always choose to use their normal attacks instead of wrestling unless controlled. Several types of creatures are immune to some or all of the effects of wrestling. Non-corporeal. Oh my God.
You had to say that, didn't you? You had to write that down?
Yep.
Non-corporeal things are not affected by corporeal wrestling. Come on, man.
But like that one before,
No, this one I think is insulting. This one hurts.
Oozes, jelly. You cannot wrestle the ooze.
You can't wrestle a jelly. Get out. Get out of here. What?
Well, you know what happens if you try to wrestle oh my god, I can't think, a gelatinous cube, right?
You just jump in its mouth, basically.
Yeah. You're inside. Ethereal elemental creatures can be wrestled only by opponents in the same form.
Okay.
Special touch abilities. By the way, I have a t-shirt. I do not consent to your ranged touch attack. And you can get that off both of our spreadshirt. I don't think you can get off spreadshirt. I think you can only get that one out for Redbubble. But I think it now comes into play. Function normally during wrestling if the monster wishes them to. For example, a character wrestling a cockatrice must make a saving throw versus turn to stone every round while in contact with the monster because it's looking at you to try to figure out why you're holding on to it.
Yeah, like, are you stupid? Looking at you, trying to figure out how dumb you are. And then you turn the stone and it doesn't care anymore.
No. Polyrobotics, he's actually saying that it's dumb to have in the book because it makes sense that you can't do that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying it makes sense. Exactly. Yeah. Polyrobotics saying, wait, Heathen Dog, you don't understand why that works? No, I completely understand, and it's true, but I'm insulted that it had to be put in there because I don't think someone who didn't understand that should be playing this game with people or out in the world around people.
See, I'm with Darius on this one. Heathen, you know someone would argue that rule if it wasn't there. That's
the person I don't want at my table.
Yeah, right.
That's a great tell. It's like, oh, you outed yourself as too stupid to be in my presence. Get out.
Preparing for wrestling. Oh, we got to prepare for wrestling. You got to put on little spandex shorts and
Yep.
go
Put
shake
the
the
ear
ring
guards.
a little
Don't
bit.
want cauliflower ear. Don't put the ear guards on.
Divide the character's level by 2. Oh, so we said that you're 5th level just for the sake of argument.
Sure.
So that makes you rounding up. So divide by 2, round it up to be 3. So
sure.
Got that. Add the bonuses for strength and dexterity. I don't think you have a strength. You have dex.
I have dex +1.
Okay, so you're at a 4 right now. Find the character's unmodified armor class, not counting magic or dexterity adjustments. Ooh, what's that? 8? Okay. And add the result to the total.
Wait. Not counting magic or dexterity adjustments. Okay, sorry. I counted my my dexterity, but my armor gives me an AC of 6.
Okay. So 4 plus 6 is 10.
Sure.
All right. Monsters. Okay, so that's the weapon. So right now your wrestling rating is 10. Just hold on to that number in the back of your noodle. Monsters multiply the hit dice by 2, not counting pluses. And just so folks know, I know the D&D guys know this, but I'll say it right now. A lot of times a monster entry will say something like a hit dice 3 plus 2. What it's saying is that counts as a 3 hit die creature.
Counts as a 3. Now, I am 5th level, so let's say I'm fighting a 5 hit dice creature. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Just to make it easy.
So multiply the monster's hit die by 2 would be 10. Same number as yours.
If the monster is not wearing armor, add 9. Yep. If the monster is wearing armor, add its armor class. It's not wearing armor, so 19.
Okay, 19. Yeah, I hadn't got to number 2 yet. So he's got a 19 on there. So it's his 10 versus the monster's 19.
I'm in trouble.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm in danger.
Or you win.
I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if higher is better or lower is better yet.
Before the game or crucial battle should find out each, if it's that important. Oh, hold on. Now I got a little bit of a problem. If it's that important, this should just be written into the stat blocks. Yes. Well, into the stat block.
Yeah. It should be part of your normal character sheet. Right up. It really should.
Okay. Characters and so it's got an example.
We already did the example with me.
Worse armor class, for instance, 9 result in better wrestling ratings than good armor classes. This is correct. Yeah, it's hard to wrestle in plate mail armor versus Bruce Lee, who's not.
Sure.
More armor a character is wearing, the harder it is for him to wrestle effectively. Remember, magic bonuses and dexterity adjustments do not count towards wrestling ratings. Have you been to like one of those Ren fairs or whatever and actually seen 2 people in plate try to wrestle each other?
Yes. It looks like a toddler slap fight.
Or 2 turtles standing on, and then, but once one person is down, the other person just basically sits on them.
Yeah, and then you win.
Okay, so unlike other sections of the rules in which hit dice and levels are equated, in this section uses hit dice precisely, so a 25th level fighter still only has 9 hit dice. Wait, what?
Oh, because after 9th level, you don't get hit dice
That's
anymore.
Right. That's your good catch.
Yeah.
Good catch.
You
You're
just
right.
get a plus of
Just
2
get
to
the plus.
4 or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Each opponent involved in wrestling makes a simple roll of 1d20 each round. Let me get a 20 because I'll be fighting against you with my 19, right?
Okay.
Simple roll 1d20. If the character's trying to wrestle, he adds his wrestling rating to the total. If he's trying to do something else, we're not doing that. Does not ties dictate no result in the round. Normal wrestling. Does it say anything about me being a monster? Free grab, takedown, pin. Okay, so in normal wrestling contests, characters move up and down the following table. Wow, this is a huge table. Free grab, takedown, pin. Before the wrestler... Oh. So it takes multiple rounds to really just pin somebody.
Yes. You have to
I
grab
like that.
and then take down. It looks like takedown, and then once you have someone taken down, then you can pin. That's what it seems like.
Yep, that is what it seems like. I actually like that. I like that. Before the wrestler wrestles a target, both targets are considered free. When one successfully attacks the other, he grabs his victim. If he wins the wrestling roll in the next round, he performs a takedown, bring his opponent down to the ground, and getting superior position over him. If he wins another wrestling roll to the ground, he has pinned his opponent. My guess is once you're pinned, you're done rolling. Because I can't fight back because you've truly pinned me.
Yep.
Okay. So this, of course, assumes the victim isn't fighting back. Victim normally fights back, so each round the two parties are wrestling. Each makes a wrestling roll. Got it. The higher roll wins. Oh, you're done, buddy. Tie means that there's no change in the character's relative situation. Now, if one character wins one round, he moves the other fellow down one level. If the other character wins the next, he moves the combat back up a level. I was thinking that there might be a penalty or bonus in there. Like once you start getting that advantage, you get the advantage, but I'm not seeing it. No,
there's no death spiral in this.
I kind of think there should be at the pin or the takedown point, but we'll see.
The takedown part, there should be a minus, but oh no, look at that chart. Look at that chart. Wrestling unarmed combat mastery.
Yeah, but this is weapon. This is only if you have weapon mastery.
How do you have weapon mastery with
Neither of us have weapon mastery, so we're not gonna. Here, I'll put it on the screen for folks. All right, so I had a 19 and you had a 10.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm screwed.
I roll.
Oh, I rolled a 19. I got 29.
I got a 12. What did I have? 19, 12 plus 19, 20, 31.
You still beat.
So I won. So I've now taken you to the...
from free to grab.
Yeah, so I've grabbed you. Ah! Okay, next round. 15.
Oh, that sucks.
15 plus...
17. Stop it. I got a 17.
Yeah.
Stop
so now
I'm takedown. I'm on the ground.
One more. You can do it. You can do it. Uh-oh.
No, probably not.
I can't add. My God, 19. Okay. So I got a 21 total.
Yeah, okay, I'm pinned.
Oh, I rolled a 2, dude.
I rolled a 7.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
Yeah. So, here's my issue with that. You're probably wearing leather armor, right? Or something close to that? Studded leather? I understand the penalty for wearing some armor, but it seems like a pretty big penalty. And I'm a 5 hit die creature. So my hit die is equivalent to your level.
Yeah, the whole thing where double the hit die of the creature, that seems excessive, especially going through this example.
Yeah.
For example, if we didn't double, what would it be? Preparing for wrestling. Let's take a look at that chart again.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
If you just went the base
for
hit
monsters,
die?
Monsters die, multiply monsters hit die by 2. Let's not do that.
So I'd be 5.
5 add 9, 14. So instead of 19, it would be 14.
I still would have won the first round, not the second one. So you'd have gotten back to
and not the last.
Yeah, not the last. Yeah, so
I would still be either grabbed or taken down.
No. You would have me at grab.
I would have you at grab. Okay. Yeah. That to me makes more sense.
I would have to run this many more times to fully agree with you. Off the cuff, I agree with you. But I'd have to see how this plays out at first level, 9th level, 15th level, things like that as well. Now, I know somebody's going to say, but it stops at 9. I get that. I'm just saying I would have to see how that plays out.
Monster hit dice doesn't stop at 9.
Right.
So if I'm level 36 and I want to wrestle a level 36 humanoid, intelligent, undead guy, he gets 36 times 2 while I'm stuck at 9.
Yeah, but I don't think any monsters go up to 36 hit die.
Okay,
we'll find out when we go into the monsters. I think 10 is
10 or 15 I think for really, really high level humanoid
Pages
creatures
114.
can get to 15, and you're doubling it
See,
right
there's
out of the gate. I don't know, man. That
let's
seems a
find
little
let's just find the first thing that looks like you could wrestle. You can't wrestle a shadow, unfortunately.
and not a storm giant
Sasquatch.
either.
All right, you're gonna wrestle a Sasquatch.
Sasquatch wrestling. I love it.
It's 5 hit dice.
5
And
hit
it's
dice.
large.
So
I
that's
wonder
gonna
if that large means something. It's 5 hit dice and
it's got
large.
an asterisk. What's the asterisk for?
I don't know. We'll have to find that out later
Okay,
when we get
let's
into
find one without an asterisk. 'Cause
Okay,
I don't wanna
Shrieker.
handle that.
Skeleton.
That's just a regular. I'm talking high level undead.
Okay.
Hit die 1 shot.
Does it do, I don't know how many monsters are in this book. Spectre. Can't wrestle that.
Can't do it because he's incorporeal. We read that in the rules. We know.
You know I would have done it here too. Oh my god, how many monsters are there? What's a sporicle? I never even heard it's got tentacles. Does that add to wrestling?
Maybe I would.
Do we have just a basic vampire in here? Because I think that's kind of what you're looking for. Oh, troglodyte.
Yeah.
Troglodytes are usually pretty low. Oh, it's armor. Yeah, it's only 2 hit die. Troll is
crap.
6 hit die. Undyne. Well, that's a water elemental with 8 hit die, so that's getting kind of big up there.
It's getting up there, but there's no vampire. Where's the freaking vampire?
Vampires 7 to 9 hit die.
7 to 9. Okay, so humanoid that you would want to wrestle is also gonna cap out at around 9. It seems.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I don't know
great.
if I'd want to
but
wrestle
why
a vampire.
double it? Why double it? I still don't understand
I don't know.
why doubling is necessary. It doesn't make sense. I cap out at 9. They seem to cap out at around 9. Doubling just gives them a super unfair advantage.
Yeah, well, think about it. I wouldn't want to wrestle a vampire anyway because he's trying to bite my neck. Get away from me.
Yeah, but I would want to pin him. No, he could just turn to mist. Poof, gone.
Look, again, right now, I'm just up front. I would play it rules as written until I found that it was game breaking in some way. I don't think a lot of people are going to do the wrestling. I don't think it's something, it will come up. I just don't think it will come up a lot. And I think this would be more player character versus NPC human versus even the example. I think it gives an ape or some crap. I don't foresee a lot of people wrestling apes. I might be wrong. So I would have to play it out. Off the cuff, I agree with Heathen Dog. But I also have a little bit of skepticism in there. Like, wrestling an ape is not a smart thing to do, even if you're a fighter. They're pretty dang strong.
No. But even in that example, your wrestling rating went from 19 to 14 as a 5 hit die creature. You are still +4 to me.
Only because I was unarmored.
Well, but I was fighting a monster, so if the monster didn't have armor, which
but we're talking humanoid monsters like orcs and so hobgoblins.
Yeah, but they're usually also poor, so they can't afford armor. So a lot of them aren't going to have armor, but
Yeah, like I said, I'd have to play it out. I'm not going to argue over it right now. Again, as always, what are your thoughts? Do you use this? Do you actually use these rules and say that they work fine? Do you avoid them? Do you find some other system that you use in your game? I don't know. I'd love to hear from you guys. But we got the procedure down. We actually walked through the procedure. I don't think we really have much more to do. It's going to be wrestling versus attackers. One fighter could be wrestling with the others using some other attack, such as unarmed strike or a dagger attack. In such case, the character who's wrestling will be able to pin his opponent relatively quickly. Why? Because he's not trying to resist the wrestling. However, the other character can still make attacks while grabbed or taken down and might knock out the wrestler or stab him to death before the pin occurs. That makes sense.
Yeah, you're trying to, get inside someone with a dirk or a dagger. He's just gonna prison shank you. And then you're done. Yeah, doesn't seem smart.
When things get really kinky, when 3 or more characters all decide to wrestle against a common opponent, find the single wrestler with the highest wrestler rating, called the leader. His wrestling role for the entire group modified as follows. For each group member with half or less leader's hit dice, add 1 to the group.
Just
each group,
one?
Well, hold on. With each group member with more than half the leader's hit dice, add 5 to the group. Basically, your skill, you suck so much, you're more of a hindrance than a help. Okay, good job, Billy. You helped. That's right. A maximum of 4 attackers can wrestle an opponent of equal size. Up to 8 attackers can wrestle opponent twice. Hey, that large Sasquatch, you could have 8.
I could have 8 people, and for that storm giant, I could have 12.
Oh, we didn't even look at giants. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Could you see Heathen Dog's little thief going out there? All right, storm giant, let's do this.
Taking you down. I'm getting 3 points, baby. No.
And it's got things here for instant pin, class adjustments, and so forth. I think we are now moving into, opponents with multiple attacks. Simplified roles and general skills. If you guys want to read that, it's on the page. The next video, we're going to cover aerial combat. Look, I did not dislike this chapter. I'm not like, because I can tell the tone of my voice is kind of like, whatever, we're moving on. It's just the fact that I don't think that, one, he and I are going to come to a consensus right now, and by reading literally every single rule in this thing, we're getting to much more nuanced fighting that I don't think we necessarily have to cover. If you like generically how it works, well, you got the game for you. If you don't, you probably house ruled it anyway. So I know this is a read through, but I think we read through enough of that to get the understanding of what this is. I think we actually had more misunderstanding on the striking side of it. But as somebody put in chat, that 0 might be a misprint.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. And I wish there was errata that we could immediately.
There might. I didn't go searching for errata.
Yeah, there might.
So
be.
there may be.
Yeah. For the pinned comment, we have Paydar saying, "Raw, you only get smash at 9th level."
Oh, okay, that makes sense. As a combat maneuver, okay.
As a combat maneuver, you only get smash at 9th level. That makes sense.
That's good, actually. I'm glad.
yeah. But think about it. 9th level can still be considered pretty low. It goes to 36.
Yeah, but I think we've pretty much discovered that 9th level is when all the other levels are like you're earning your white belt, yellow belt, whatever other belts you have.
At 9th level, you can now consider yourself a brand new fighter, really, a real fighter, or a real wizard, or a real thief, whatever. Then we have Kevin saying, "It seems to me that the writers want you to not wrestle unless you take weapon mastery in wrestling."
Sure.
But the thing is, weapon mastery, in my opinion, sucks. I wouldn't use it ever. So,
and I'm different. I would use it. I would just change the training aspect of it. But can you put that back up for a second?
No, I
no problem. But see, I actually agree with that. Would you, Kevin, want to fight somebody who's trained in MMA? I wouldn't.
I would not.
But
I would not.
You know what? That fat bartender behind, or maybe bartender's bad. That fat enterprise employee that pissed me off by increasing my rate or something. That might be a different story. I'm not so worried about that. But yeah, somebody who's trained in that, I wouldn't want to fight any ground and pounder wrestler. I don't care if it's Greco-Roman, the entertainment style, MMA. The various forms of martial arts out there that focus on that. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I do. They would have at least basic mastery in it because that's what they've been training for 6, 12, 8, whatever months or years. So, Darius also said Sasquatch or gorillas should tear most apart, but a wolf should be vulnerable to wrestling. If you can keep its teeth off you, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, if you can keep it. Yeah, if you can get your arm around its neck and keep yourself above its mouth, you're probably going to be okay. The problem is wolves don't fight alone.
Yeah. Well, also, I've wrestled my dog before, and my dog would, is okay with it because, we're part of the same pack. Wrestling a dog that doesn't want you to wrestle it,
it will wriggle out real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. And then be upset. But yeah, that's all the start comment.
So that's the unarmed combat section there. You can argue if you want in terms of me not covering it as in-depthly as others, but I really think that combat is so easily understood in this game that these are either optional rules or they're more tacked on. I don't mean that in a design element, but tacked on because the players aren't going to be doing them as much. And when they do, well, now you know the basic system. It's there. Heathen Dog and I literally ran through the system of what would go on. Next, we're going to be covering... Oh, I should put this up here. Next, we're going to be covering aerial combat. Let's see. Aerial combat, underwater combat, naval combat, siege combat. Oh my God, what else is after that? NPC siege specialists. Hold on. Am I really going that far? Oh no, it's only 2
You
pages.
really need to go all the way down that rabbit hole?
Yes.
Wow.
But it's gonna end with NPCC specialists. The actual war machine mass combat is next week. And by the way, that's the only thing I'm doing next week is mass combat.
Okay.
And please like, subscribe, and share.